Thank you for listening and welcome to the Life Radio Show, a once proud member of the now defunct Eventide Entertainment Podcast Network. I'm your host, Don Smith. Kevin Rupert keeps on a rockin' the guest co-host spot. First-time guest Gary Ophil tells us what it's like to spend your life being awful. He wears it very well. If you enjoy the show, like and follow the Life 1069 on Facebook and Don Smith Comedy on Twitter, or tune in live on Tuesdays from 7 to 9 p.m. on WWSU 106.9 FM, or you can stream the show live at WWSU1069.org.
The brutal presence overwhelms me. The brutal presence.
104.36.
Thank you. Hey, we're back 104.36. We're back on the Life Radio Show. I'm your host, Don Smith, sitting in with my guest co-host. You said 104.36. Right, okay, 104.36, my guest co-host. Kevin Rupert.
What's up, man?
Mr. 104.36.
That's right. That's what they call me.
Those are your measurements now. I don't even know what they mean or what we measured.
Is that his measurements of his decommissioned schlock?
Now, I can't say because I'm not going to measure it again to confirm.
It's classified.
And besides, the measurements change when it's firm.
I got a pair of veneer calipers we can measure with.
Oh, there you go. Yeah, make sure that mic's close enough to you.
Okay. Yeah.
Because you trailed off, and if you get
is that
if
close
you face
enough?
off to the side, yeah, we'll get this down.
Okay, we'll get it figured out.
Our next guest is in. Mike Canistero had to hit the road. Our next guest is in. Gary Ophil?
Yeah, that's close enough.
Close enough? Well, make it closer.
Well,
Awful?
that's how everyone pronounces it. I actually pronounce it Ophil.
Okay.
But my whole life I've been called awful, and I was like,
That's nothing to do with your name.
well, I said it's no wonder I have such a negative complex. Everyone's just called me awful my
Been
whole life.
awful
so-
since the beginning of time.
since the beginning of since the
that's-
beginning in 1973. So
That's a long time ago. That's
Yeah.
a long time to be awful.
I know. That's probably a record. I don't know.
Well, we cover a lot of Guinness record stories in here.
Oh,
So we'll have
awesome.
to see if there's a Guinness record for being awful.
I probably won it.
Well, it's good to have you. This is
Thank
your
you.
first time
This
on
is
the
my
live, and
first-
your first time on radio.
Radio, I know. I feel privileged.
Exciting.
It's very exciting.
I've been
This-
doing this 5 years, and I'm bored to death with it.
Well, I'm bringing you some excitement tonight. I hope. So.
Perfect. So what's happening? We got to do a show recently up in
Covington, Ohio.
Covington, Ohio.
Yeah.
The big city of Covington, Ohio.
Yeah, at the
Mr.
Y'all's
Brian
Country
Swinehart.
Club.
Busting
At
the
Y'all's
Tropics.
Country Club.
Yeah, that was no country club. I can tell you that.
No, it was definitely Y'all, but it wasn't a country club.
Yeah,
It was,
it was a good time though. It was a good.
it was
time.
fun.
I always enjoy working with Brian. He's
Yeah.
a great comedian. He's booked me on quite a few shows with him, and I appreciate that. So, and
I didn't realize it had been that recent that he lost his finger.
I didn't know he even lost them.
Because I knew he lost them. He had said something about it. I think in December when he was at Wiley's, he said something about it. But I didn't listen to the whole story, so I didn't know it was like a year and a half ago.
Yeah, I didn't either.
Yeah.
I didn't even know he lost them. So,
Yeah.
hey, take the opportunity to write some jokes about it. So.
Yeah, there you go. Well, yeah, if you're going to go through it, write some jokes about
Yeah.
it. That's what that's
Absolutely.
why my ex-wives are so mad at me.
Ex-wives, so plural. So how many?
Well,
of you?
there's only one that's officially an ex. The other one just like moved out 3 months ago. So
Oh, okay. So you're
it's my
separated.
ex to be.
Well, let's see. What do they call that on Facebook? It's complicated.
It's
It's
complicated,
complicated. No,
yeah.
it's not complicated. She moved out. That's really
it's
not more
separated.
complicated than that. It's okay. She was here. Now she's not. There are no more complications.
So you're a free. So you're a free agent now. So
I am. I'm free to play that's why I'm losing weight because you don't.
you're shopping. You're on the market.
You don't put a used car back on the market unless you give it a tune-up.
I had an ex-girlfriend. I always knew when she was looking for someone new, she would lose weight. So
Yeah,
I was
there
like,
you
yep,
go.
she's
There you
shopping
go.
again. So
Yep, and shave
and shaved
her beard.
armpits, maybe. I don't know.
Get rid of those blue crabs. You know.
Yeah.
before
Well, you got
back on
to
the-
get rid of those too.
back
I
on
called her
market.
the bearded lady for a reason. So
There you go. As long as it didn't turn into a bearded dragon.
Yeah.
That's how it happens. That's how it happens. So we'll go ahead and get started with you. How long have you been performing comedy?
I have been doing this 13 years.
13 years?
Or actually over 13 years. So This is 13th year this year. I started out with a comedy class in Newport, Kentucky.
Really?
At a comedy club, the Funny Bone. Jeff Jenna was
okay.
holding the
Because
comedy
he
club.
used to do a comedy class here.
Yes,
and
he did.
it was taken over by Michelle Metzner.
Okay, yes.
Because when I was here, I'd been wanting to do it for a while, but when I was here at Wright State, they offered that class. I saw it on there, so I went ahead and took it. And that was my boost. That was my catalyst to actually get on stage.
I had, since I was a child, I had done a lot of sound effects. And I was getting in trouble at work for doing sound effects in the office. So, and all my coworkers like, man, you're really funny. You should be a comedian. And I didn't quite know how to get into this. So I seen the comedy class, opened the door for me, got things started, and got my first booking immediately. And I've been doing it ever since. So,
yeah. Sorry. I was trying to get you started talking softer.
I'm sorry, my voice
That's
is getting dry.
It's consistency, and my producer's sleeping, so he's sleeping on the job, so he's not looking at the levels. And you got to.
Is that better now? Perfect. You want me to start all over again?
It's soothing me.
Put you to sleep.
But no, 13 years.
13 years.
Who were some of your influences?
You know, when I was younger, I was fascinated by Foster Brooks. If you remember him.
Oh yeah, absolutely. Best drunk there ever was.
I know, and he wasn't drunk. Yeah. Rich Little, I was fascinated by
the voices. There you go.
Yeah, and Dana Carvey.
Yeah.
And Tim Allen.
Oh yeah.
More power. That's my motto. Ha.
Now I had heard a rumor that was not originally his bit.
Correct.
And he kind of ran with it. He made it his and made a fortune with it. Which, I guess if somebody else was going to leave it there and not do anything with it, might as well get in there and Mencia it.
It's kind of like the I hadn't heard about this until recently, but the whole Dennis Leary Louis C.K. thing, where Louis C.K. had like a bit. I don't know what I'm allowed to say, but it like a-hole, like about being an a-hole, like you just gave yourself that life. And basically, Dennis Leary stole the bit and turned it into that song, which made like millions of dollars.
Yeah.
So it may be a similar situation to that.
Yeah, it could be. Yeah, because I mean, well, and there is parallel thinking,
right?
But some things are too blatant to be just parallel thinking.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, I've done comedy out in D.C., Baltimore, and would hear someone that had a joke very similar to mine. I was like, well, I know we've never met or seen each other before, so I beat the crap out of them, told them not to do it again.
Exactly. Yeah. And then they never did comedy anymore.
No, they were finished.
So perfect.
I even contemplated still in their name. Maybe it's not as awful as mine. So
right. As long as their name's not awful.
Exactly. We actually traced the origins back to Germany for Apple. I was like, boy, we've came a long way from apple to awful. So I guess maybe I was a rotten apple. I don't know.
Yeah, well, that's how it starts. Yeah. It's just one bad apple and the rest are awful.
And then they're all ruined.
Yeah. So that's a German awful apple.
Yep.
Perfect.
What's German for rotten? Does anyone know?
Achensplicken.
Achensplicken.
Yeah, despicable.
I know what's German for ambulance. Krankenwagen.
Yeah, yes. Krankenwagen, yes. It is, because krank is sick. Ich bin krank. I'm sick. Yeah.
I never would have known
I
that.
spoke a little bit of German.
Oh, did you?
And it's one of those languages every now and then you learn a few words, you can see how those words combine into other things.
Yeah.
That's why they got words that are super long in that language.
Yeah.
Because they're combining a bunch of stuff.
See, one of my favorite German words is the German word for headache, because it sounds more like a headache than headache, and that's Kopfschmerzen. Ich habe Kopfschmerzen.
It almost sounds like cough medicine. But.
Yeah, it does.
That was one of my favorite words that I learned. It's like, Kopfschmerzen. I like that.
It kind of sounded a little Scottish, too, when you said it. Like it was like a Scottish guy speaking German.
Yeah, it was.
Was it?
Scots German.
Oh, okay. I got you. Yeah, that's, actually, there are like some Scots that they speak German, right? Like their tribes or something like that. Is that right?
I'm sure they're Germanic. I don't know. Because that's so many different language families that
are in that area.
Just vomited all over Europe anyway. It's a hodgepodge of different, somewhat related languages, because everybody conquered everybody, and the next thing you know, they were speaking the same language, and that's why English changes so much.
Right.
And there's English was never like an original language by itself. I mean, it was, but it was entirely different.
And we're all supposed to be related somehow. So.
That's the rumor. I don't believe it.
I don't know. Boy, I've seen some people out there that look like other people. So.
Oh yeah. Well, that doesn't mean that we're all related.
Yeah.
See, because I never bought into the whole thing as there was one origin of people. It's like, okay, people evolved if that's what we're going with. So why would they evolve just in one spot when there are animals to all continents that are similar?
I don't know if we're evolving from what I've been seeing here
not
lately.
anymore.
We're going backwards.
We did at one time. Now we're devolving.
Yeah.
We're going back. We're going back.
Yeah, and that's
getting the higher foreheads.
Well, I was thinking mentally we were devolving.
We're going to start thumping each other with clubs again, because that's all we're going to have left.
Unga bunga.
Yeah, exactly. And they were simpler times.
No cars to worry about, no jobs. You just sit around the cave all day.
Make the cave great again.
Make the cave great again.
And then undiscover fire.
Yeah, we will undiscover it. Yeah, I don't remember what it is.
That way the Amazon rainforest doesn't burn down anymore.
Yeah, what was it? What was it I just was going to write down?
I don't know.
Maybe we'll just call it undiscovering. Oh, make the cave great again.
Make the cave great again.
Yeah. Make the cave great again.
In 4 years, you can say keeping the cave great.
Yeah. Yep. Yeah, that's where we are as a society. We're heading back to the caves, and not a moment too soon, I believe. We've been due for some time. It's a good cave.
We had a good run too as a civilization. Like I feel like
why ruin it by continuing?
Right. Just the cycle of things.
We're just getting less civilized.
Yeah, we are, and it's heartbreaking. It really is.
It
is, especially some of the stuff we've been seeing here lately.
Oh yeah.
It's heartbreaking. It really is.
It is, and that's the de-evolution of the human society in general.
And you go back to when the tornadoes happened, and you look at how everyone came out and helped their neighbors and helped cleaned up and was looking out for one another. That was love.
That was.
And I said, we need to do more of that. Not just when a tornado happens.
Not with the tornadoes.
Yeah,
we could do without
time.
the tornadoes. We just need to remember what we had when we needed to have it.
And now we're
try to hang on to it a little.
People are just getting nasty with each other, and and that's where comedy comes in. We try to lighten the mood and make people happy, and
then they get mad at us.
Yeah, because we crossed the line.
Because we crossed the line, and then they're upset again, and
So
sometimes you can't win.
No, you can't. And
that's why we're going back to the caves.
But then again,
start this whole failed experiment over.
But going to a comedy club, everything's kind of off limits too, to a certain point. I mean, I don't think we want anything that's happened, in the past with some of these crazy comedians, some of the things they did.
Yeah.
I kind of wonder sometimes, like, if the lack of civility in the real world is the reason why, like, insult comedy as a genre isn't as popular as it used to be.
Yeah, because everybody's just doing that in their daily life.
Exactly, yeah.
Yep, every day is an insult comedy.
Right.
Yeah, that's probably that's probably some truth in that. Because that's what we see all over the news every day. That's what we see from our politicians, and it's all that's the insult comedy without being funny.
Yeah, exactly.
It's more sad than anything. It's not really funny at all.
And that's why I've turned off the TV. I don't watch TV anymore. If I do, it's the weather. Turn it off.
Yeah, I'll watch movies. I'll watch like Netflix stuff. I won't. I don't want to watch the news. I don't care for it. I don't need to know what's going on in my world. I just want to live in a bubble.
Because that's what we got Facebook for. It'll tell us all the news.
Exactly. Yeah, it'll tell us every bit of the news and put every different kind of spin on it.
Mm-hmm.
So, yeah.
And I've been trying to stay better at this, not getting political and stuff on Facebook. So I've been sticking with pictures of classic cars and gas prices. So
Yeah, there you go.
if you want to know gas
Which-
price updates, just follow me on Facebook.
Which that's political right there. The gas prices. So many people get offended.
I get offended.
Yeah, exactly. But no, I try to not. I don't. I've caught myself every now and then posting something political on Facebook, and I've had to remove it. It's like, no, I don't want that on there. It's going to be on my feed. That's not what my feed is for. I use my Facebook to promote shows, to promote this, to promote the club. That's why I need it.
Yes.
Right.
I will every now and then, if I have one vodka and cranberry too many, I will post something political and I have to get it the heck off there because I don't want it there.
Yeah, and usually it leads to other people making
Oh yeah,
comments and stuff that are not pleasant. And
What I usually do is, if I'm thinking something in particular about a political issue, is I'll end up writing out a long post, and then before I actually post it, I'll just delete the whole thing.
yeah.
I'll spend 2 hours this thoughtful diatribe, and then I'm like, nope, can't do this. Because no matter how fair-minded you try and make it, people are going to latch onto different words and interpret it as having a specific partisan agenda, and they'll have a bad response.
Yeah.
So it's you almost can't post anything political these days, or you invite a lot of lot
Well,
of hate.
and just I'm trying. There's too much negative. I'm trying, and it's hard for me because I'm a naturally negative person.
just I'm a naturally awful person.
Right,
So.
exactly.
But that helps with your comedy, though. When you get animated about something, or I guess not.
Yeah. Well, when I do better on stage when I'm really angry.
Right.
When I'm genuinely but at least I'm trying to use that energy in something that makes people laugh, something that causes a better reaction in somebody else. That way, my anger doesn't have to infest them. And that at least is something I can see as positive. But I try. I don't want to say I try not to get angry because I'm angry a lot. I don't have an anger problem. I'm used to it. It's not a problem at all. But
They make pills for that, by the way.
Exactly. Yeah, I know. Well, they make a lot of things for that too. Some of it's illegal.
I thought it was legal now.
I wouldn't trust that.
Okay.
I wouldn't trust a mistake in their law writing to being legal because then, and it's still at a federal level, it's not. So yeah, I saw that article too, and I thought, yeah, that's entrapment, I think. But yeah,
I know federally hemp is legal, but that's for making materials and things like that, not
right.
for smoking.
Hemp's not the fun stuff.
Yeah.
Yeah. Hemp's like all the it's
The industrial commercial
right,
stuff.
yeah,
So,
it's-
and then now there's this CBD oil or something.
Yeah.
I have no idea.
Yeah,
what that,
hemp's like going to a strip club on a Tuesday morning. It's basically the same thing, but it's nothing you really want.
have you been to a strip club on a Tuesday morning? I'm just curious.
Who hasn't?
I haven't. So
Okay. Well, I'm a sad man. It's okay.
I've been at a strip club until.
Why do you think I'm angry all the time?
that's why you're going on
That's
the
the
wrong.
only time I can afford to
You're
go.
going at the wrong time.
I've been at a strip club until Tuesday morning. I've never gone there.
You've never purposely
right,
gone there and said, "Hey, it's Tuesday morning.
Yeah,
Let's
yeah.
go
Nobody-
see some scars."
Exactly.
Nobody wants to go on a Tuesday because it's Taco Tuesday.
Right.
Everybody knows that.
Right, and they're all gassy.
There you
And,
go.
What kind of tacos are you talking
And
about?
if it smells like taco meat, there's another issue there. That's back to the blue land crabs.
Right. Focus on the nipples. That's the BSA.
Right,
for
focus on that. Damn it. I'm putting that down as another possible show title. Is focus on the nipples.
Nice.
Yeah, nipples are a necessity for the first one. And
Yeah,
then focus on the nipples for the second.
and then you can
which is
branch
two
off.
nipples. That's natural.
There you go. There's
One-
another
one for
title.
We're good to go. Yeah, one for each show. We got.
Oh man.
There's a lot of nipples in the last show.
I've kind of gathered that.
I think
from
at one time on this show we tried to count how many times I said nipple in that episode. I don't even remember what the count was.
nipples
It was
and
a lot.
ears was the theme of the last show,
Yeah,
wasn't
yeah.
it?
Yeah.
Ear,
Well,
ear
yeah.
candles or something.
Yep. Earwax candles. Yes, they were brilliant idea.
You ever seen one? Earwax candles.
I have not.
They're
We're
kind of scary almost.
So it is.
We're still trying to verify their existence.
They do
You can-
exist. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's supposed to
No, are you talking
You're
about?
talking about the candles that you light to control it. Not,
to pull the wax out of
right.
your
I'm
ear.
talking about a candle made of.
Oh, I don't know about that.
yeah,
That's kind
that's
of
what we're talking about.
who.
Yeah, I've
who
heard-
accumulates that much wax?
Well, we were talking to Mike Canistero when he was in. Apparently, his left ear generates an obscene amount of earwax.
Maybe we should.
I don't
get
even
him-
know what an obscene amount is.
It's enough
different
to
kind
have
of
to censor it on
Yeah,
the air.
there's
Yeah, I guess it's something you can shape into something else and make it obscene.
Well, he might be able to sell
Not a
that.
candle. That's
look a swan. It's just a yeah. I don't know. It's something you can make figurines with.
right.
Mouth.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, he might be able to sell that earwax to Hobby Lobby. I'm sure they could.
Yeah.
They got a whole aisle there dedicated to candle making. So
That's true. That's true. We could start it. We could start the earwax
Yeah, that's-
candle craze.
This could be the beginning
Yeah.
of something special.
Earwax LLC.
There you go. There you go. Yankee earwax candle.
Yankee. What's that one over in Richmond? Warm Glow Candle Company. Maybe Warm
Yeah,
Earwax Candle Company or something like that.
Interglow.
Or the warm earwax. That's when you know it came fresh from the ear.
Yeah, that's a freshie right there. That's fresh earwax.
There's,
That's the best kind to make
there's-
your candles.
There's your favorite guy, Don.
Hey, welcome back, Butch. It's always good to hear from you and know that you're listening. Is anybody you know Butch Russell?
Yeah. Yeah.
He listens in. He
Well, cool.
asks
Hi,
the same
Butch.
question every week.
What's that?
Do any of my guests need a sugarless daddy?
A
He started out asking
sugarless daddy?
he started out asking about that for Charlie Hester. Then I think he asked it for Autumn Hatcher, and he asked
Amy.
it for Amy James, and I think he even asked it for Bree McGurk. So yeah, he's that's Butch.
I remember Butch when I first
that
started
one
doing.
guy.
Yeah, that one guy. Yeah, he was hard to forget. When I first started doing stand-up comedy, he showed up at open mic at Wiley's.
Yeah.
Did this hilarious thing.
Really? Were you talking about the same guy?
Yeah, I thought it was funny. He had these
Oh, okay.
little fake joints and just started throwing them out into the audience at people, and then started taking their picture with them. So
Yeah, that sounds like something he'd do.
yeah, used to race figure eight school buses. Is he commenting on it?
He just said this will be his first guy. So
Actually,
if
I
he needs a
remember him.
sugarless daddy. It'll be his.
I
first
didn't
guy.
commit to anything here.
I
so-
remember
I
him
think-
saying. I remember him saying that to a guy a week or two ago. So
Okay,
no, it's
okay.
not the first.
All right. Well, you have been corrected, Butch. It is not. This is not going to be your first guy. There have been others, sir.
and it's not going to be this guy either. So,
Yeah. It'll be that one guy.
Next week is going to be Waxless Daddy,
who's Waxless Daddy?
guy without earwax.
Oh, you booking my shows now? I don't even have anybody booked yet. I guess that'd be really waxless. They don't even have ears. Yes, Butch. Yes, you are.
We can't say that on the.
Yeah, right. We're going to have to go ahead and take our half hour break, and which at an hour and a half of the actual show. So that's just to throw things out there. Let's see, who are we playing? I'm gonna go old school. We're gonna play some Potter's Field. I haven't played Potter's Field in a while, so we're gonna play Potter's Field. This is their hit ditty, the very mellow, A Peaceful Man. So take us away, Patrick. We'll be back here shortly.
Nothing
this is Don Smith from the Life Radio Show. Do you like telling jokes? Are you the class clown? Do your friends always tell you you're funny? You want to prove them wrong? Well, nearly every Sunday, Wiley's Comedy Club at 101 Pine Street in Dayton's Oregon District brings you Wiley's Sunday Comics. You can be the one on stage making people laugh. Or not. All you have to do is send an email to WileySundayComics@gmail.com and follow the instructions in the reply email, and you can tell jokes at Ohio's oldest comedy club.
Liar! I ought to cut your lying throat the line. I'm a cow. A big, hip, fat, nasty, buttermilk-making cow.
All right. Hey, welcome back to the Life Radio Show. I'm your host, Don Smith, sitting in the studio with my good buddy Kevin Rupert.
Yep.
My guest co-host. Still
Having fun, man.
yeah. We're down to the end of it, down
That's
to the
right.
wire. Yeah.
Yeah,
Last section,
that's right.
then we're gone. I mean, not for good. I'll probably be back next week, and it depends. I might not.
We could all be back
I
to
always
the
figure
caves.
that every show, it's like kind of like living every day like it's your last.
Mm-hmm.
I just do every radio show like they're going to fire me because there's a good chance on every one of them.
It can happen. It can happen.
Gary Ophil,
Yes.
got it right that time.
Yes.
Is still in as our guest. He
Yes.
hasn't run off yet. He's still
No,
here.
no, I haven't had a panic attack yet.
That's
so.
good. That's good. 'Cause this is a fairly laid back show. It's not.
Yeah.
We try not to be. Now, like I said, I've been doing this for almost 5 years now, so it's
It's your anniversary.
there's no. Well, not yet, but almost 5 years, and lasted longer than most relationships. But but no, it's
When is the day that's officially like the anniversary of will be the 5th?
January 2nd.
January 2nd.
January
Okay.
2nd or 3rd. I can't remember.
Gotcha.
Something like that. Yeah.
Man, you should do something special, like some sort of like really special broadcast. I don't know. what
Because
that would
that'll be
entail, but-
5 years. Well, I'll
Right.
probably be off the air by then. But no, it's been when I first started. Every show I did, I was a nervous wreck. Now it's like, especially anymore because by the time we get to my show, most of the time I've already been on the air for 2 hours on Patrick's show, so destroying his.
What's his show?
His show's called Raider Up.
Raider Up. Okay. Okay. I'm assuming it's about sports and.
Well, it's about the current events
Oh,
events
okay.
here at Wright State, because it's Wright State Raiders.
Right.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah, we and usually I derail his show too. I
We
try
talk
to
like about
anyway.
pianists and things like that on today's
Yeah,
show.
yeah, a lot of pianists on his show.
And ducks laying eggs and dipping sacks of nuts in duck milk or
Well, the
something
nuts
like
were
that.
yours. We were.
Oh, okay.
I think you started us off milking the duck too, didn't you? I
Yeah.
don't know who did?
Wait.
Who did? Was that I don't remember.
Do ducks
No,
make milk?
It
No,
was
that's
going
why-
to the
yeah.
store to get milk, and then you brought up milking the duck, I think.
Yeah, I have no idea how we got.
And
there.
then we got a red egg out of it somehow.
Yeah, you threw the red egg out. I know. It's a weird thing that was.
Sounds
it
like
happened.
this
It
farm
happened.
is too close to a nuclear power
Yes,
plant or
yes,
something.
definitely was.
Maybe that's where the fish
Chernobyl.
with the two mouths came
Yeah.
from. So
Yeah, it's a good possibility. All right, should we hit some news stories?
Sounds good, man.
All right. Hopefully they'll be as fun as the last one.
A Walmart duck laid a red egg.
Yeah. Festival in Mexico City, in a Mexican city, broke a Guinness World Record when 882 people danced to mariachi music for 5 sustained minutes. The mariachi dancers at the Mariachi y Charreria International Reunion, a festival in Guadalajara that runs through September 2nd, broke the Guinness record Saturday for the world's largest folk dance. The record-keeping organization confirmed. A Guinness adjudicator said there were initially 892 people participating in the event, but 10 were disqualified for failing to dance for the full 5 minutes. The dancers, who donned traditional colorful costumes, danced to the traditional Mexican song El Jarabe Tapatio. In case you needed to know that. That way you, too, can be part of the Guadalajaran
I'm going to
Mexican
download
dance
that song
festivities
so I
the
can
next
listen
time.
to it on the
That's
way home.
El Jarabe, El Jarabe Tapatio.
Don, I think we just broke another Guinness World Record because it's the first time you actually said adjudicator without saying agitator.
That is right. I've said some weird things when I'm talking about the Guinness Book of World Records because they do some weird stuff. You can have a record for anything. Just find something that somebody hasn't done yet. It's yours.
I feel like that record right there won't stand for very long because 892, that's not that many people, and it's just 5 minutes of mariachi dancing.
Exactly. I don't think there are that many people that like mariachi, though.
Just start playing
mariachi. That's true. Yeah, maybe it's harder than it seems.
Yeah.
All you have to do to break the record is start playing mariachi at a protest demonstration, and you got
and then you've got
your record
like a
broken.
flash mob type of deal.
Yeah.
Yep.
Well, yeah, they have to be dancing, though.
Isn't holding a picket sign and going like this? You could call that dancing.
Yeah, but is that really dancing mariachi style?
Oh, true. No.
Is that a Mexican dance? I don't think so. That's a protesting dance.
You could make it one.
You just hand everybody a couple of maracas. It just happens.
Yeah.
Wait, is that the same thing? Like maracas? Does that go along with mariachi music?
It can, I believe. Yeah.
Okay. All right.
We'll make it happen one way or another.
I think it could be done here at Wright State. I think they could pull that off.
Oh yeah. Why not?
How many students come here to Wright State?
13,000.
Yeah, there's enough.
Oh yeah. There's enough to get it done.
Yep.
A New York woman reunited with her cat 11 years after he went missing, thanks to a patient animal rescue worker and a microchip scanner. Maggie Welts of Dutchess County said her cat Tiger never returned home after running out of her house, probably for good reason. When somebody opened a door, her family later moved down the street, but she asked the people who moved into her old house to keep an eye out for the brown tabby cat. The neighbor never found Tiger, but Carol O'Connell, an SPCA staffer, did. She said Tiger had been coming around her house for the past 3 years, but she wasn't able to get close enough to pet him. O'Connell borrowed the SPCA's microchip scanner and was able to locate Welts. She said that even though they had been apart for 11 years, she definitely planned on bringing Tiger back home.
Wow.
Because, I'm sure they have an 11-year connection where that's like 90% of this cat's life so far, where it's going, who the hell are you, and why am I here now?
Well, I've heard that cats forget after 2 weeks, so sorry.
Exactly. So,
You're forgotten.
Just should have just gone and get a new cat.
That'd have been easy.
And if it's been 11 years, how attached can this lady actually still be to this cat, too?
Right.
I have a cat.
Or if you got rid of it for 11 years, would you still claim it as yours?
Probably not.
Yeah. Well, I have a dog. I could get rid of that stinky thing for like 20 minutes. Be like, that's not my dog.
They look. Cats. They look so cute and cuddly, and
kittens do.
Yeah, but you pick one of them up, they get mad so easily.
Well, it depends on how you pick them up.
Well, that's true too. So,
but every cat has their own personal way that they want to be picked up. So how do you even know?
and sleeping at my house has just become so difficult with the cat. When it's time for me to wake up in the morning, the cat will not let me sleep. The cat has figured out how to turn off my CPAP machine now. So,
they're trying to kill you.
Yeah.
But, that's
I can't breathe.
That's not a cat. That's a fur murderer.
Yeah, well,
that's murder fur right there.
Murderer.
Satan with razor blades on his toes.
Yeah.
So.
Wow.
That's how Satan tempts you, is with the cuteness, and then the cuteness has the razor blades on their paws.
There you go. Yep, that's right. Satan for you.
We're going to get canceled for that.
Employees at a Washington State grocery store found $550,000 worth of cocaine hidden in boxes of bananas meant for sale, local law enforcement officials said Thursday. The workers at King County Safeway made the discovery Sunday while arranging stock in the store's back room. The King County Sheriff's Office said the employees alerted police, who tested the suspected drugs and confirmed the substance to be 48 pounds of cocaine. It's not unusual to find a spider hiding in a bunch of bananas, but kilos of cocaine, the Sheriff's Office said on a Facebook post. This is an ongoing investigation as detectives try to determine where the bananas came from. I think they should be more concerned with the cocaine than where the bananas came from, because bananas are legal.
I think they should be more concerned with the spiders. I didn't know that was common.
You didn't know that was common?
No, find that.
You get a brown recluse in your ear. You can find them in your banana.
That's a good point. Yeah, I guess they can turn up anywhere.
Yeah,
I didn't know Safeway started carrying cocaine. So.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
Which aisle is that in?
Well, it's only in Washington State.
Oh,
so you got to travel a bit for it. But if you're going to stock up with $550,000 worth, you might as well head on out to Safeway.
Right. Nothing safe about Safeway, is there?
Exactly. Just don't snort any of the bananas. I think these news stories get dumber as we go. There's nothing dumb about cocaine in your bananas.
So far, no Florida stuff, right? Or did we have?
There was one earlier. There was
there?
one earlier. Yes, it's like the second story I covered because he had just joked about the Russians and
Oh, right.
So it was a Florida woman with the land crabs. The land crabs were.
Oh, that was
Florida.
yeah. That's right. That's right.
A United Arab Emirates grocery store chain broke a Guinness World Record. Here we go again. By using 883 bottles of ketchup to create an 11-foot tall tower.
Is it just a blob?
Carrefour, which collaborated with Heinz to create the ketchup tower, was awarded the Guinness World Record for the tallest packaged food display after 52 volunteers spent more than 48 hours constructing the tower. The tower was constructed with bottles of Edchup, 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 Heinz bottles designed by pop star and ketchup fan Ed Sheeran.
Wow.
So it's Edchup. Didn't know that was a thing either, but apparently in the UAE they do.
Is it ketchup, catsup, or Edchup?
Edchup.
Really, with how ridiculous these records are, like we have 14 minutes before the show's over, and I bet if we thought hard enough, we could break a world record before.
Oh
it's
yeah,
up.
I'm sure we could. I'm sure we could. The
Right.
only you just have to do something that nobody's done for 14 minutes consecutively. The
Right.
problem is getting Guinness on board with their
That's
adjudicators in order to get.
Yeah, you
I did it again, Patrick.
Needs to
In
be-
order to get them to make it
to
official.
verify it.
Yeah. Has to be verified or doesn't count. So I bet.
bummer.
I think by the end of the year we need to come up with a plan to get the Life Radio Show in the record.
That's actually a great idea. I like for real.
So we need all of anybody that listens out there.
Yeah.
Which there are a couple, but anybody that listens out there, anybody that's been on the show, if you come up with an idea of how the Life Radio Show can get in the
Break a
Guinness Book of
record.
World Record, we will contact them and try to get somebody here to do it. I think we can do it.
The most radio shows that a comedy club has hosted at a radio station and still hasn't gotten canceled yet.
We're already there.
Well,
We were there
thinking,
at 2, probably.
I was thinking, how many times can Butch ask the Life Radio Show if anyone wants a sugarless daddy?
It's been every show for the past probably 8 months.
There's a record right there.
already
Yep, you
accomplished.
got it, Butch. All right. But that goes more to Butch than us.
Well, you guys are a part of it. 'cause you
Yeah,
asked
but
the
it
Life
doesn't.
Radio
It doesn't matter. If we're just
Well,
a part
we
of
get,
it.
we,
Yeah.
the number of times, Guinness World Records of the number of times we got harassed on the air
Yeah,
by Butch.
yeah. There you go. There you go. A pack of
I was going to say, I wonder what the longest radio broadcast is, and then for like the 5th anniversary, you could record it out of Wiley's.
Patrick.
I think it's 78 hours
Yeah, not
78
doing that.
hours.
That would-
consecutive. But
Yeah,
I
that
think
would-
that's just DJing. I don't think that's talk show. I think it's shorter for talk shows.
Okay, we'll have
Gotcha.
to find out because I really don't want to do that. Pack of service dogs in training were treated to a performance of a Canadian theater's live musical as part of their preparation for service. A photo of a dozen eager canines sitting in the theater seats went viral when Ontario's Stratford Festival shared it on Twitter. And the head trainer for Canine Country Inn Working Service Dogs said the performance of Billy Elliot the musical was part of the dog's training. Laura McKenzie said the theater outing was part of a 2-year training program designed to help the canines keep their calm amid crowds, unusual lights, and loud noises. I did not know. I did not
correct
know
myself
that
on my
was-
previous statement. It's 106 hours, 50 minutes for music, and 60 hours for talk shows.
60 hours? We can do that.
Yeah, it's
I'm not doing it. I'm just kidding. That's like 2.5 days.
Yeah,
No,
that'd be crazy.
no, that would be there'd
Yeah.
be nothing left of me.
yeah, that's like one of those like old Senate
Is it just
filibusters
is that for
where-
one person doing a talk show, or is that for like just
I think
keeping
it
that
was-
same show going?
I think it was one person. Well, 2 people actually. But I'll check on that.
Okay, because I mean, if we could rotate guests in and out to do
Then
a
it's
lot of
feasible.
the talking, then it's possible. But I don't.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's too much.
right?
We need something. I mean, I think the
Performed by a
point.
team.
I think the point of the of what I was making about the Guinness Book of World Records is you can do anything to get in. It's so
Right.
easy to just pick something at random that nobody's done before,
Right.
and that's something that somebody's done. It should be something much easier than that.
Yeah, like tallest marshmallow tower.
Right.
Or,
because I'm sure that's
Yeah.
write these down.
Yeah.
Yeah, because
man,
I bet nobody's done that.
Yeah.
Are we allowed to use toothpicks to hold them together? And what are the
Yeah.
rules about it? I mean, if it's not been done before and there's not a current record, is there even rules to it?
Yeah,
Do
you
we
make
write
the
our own
rules
rules
up.
about
You
it?
write your own
Exactly.
rules.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And if no one's done it, you can just do one marshmallow. I win.
Yeah, there you go. And we're in the record. I'm sure that's probably not going to be enough because everybody's at least had one marshmallow sitting on a table. So that's not going to,
Well, two.
that's probably. California home dubbed Emoji House. I reported on this once before, but this is there's more to the story.
Gotcha.
A California home dubbed the Emoji House after being painted with giant emoji images, purportedly as an act of revenge against neighbors, is being listed for sale. Catherine Kidd, who had her Manhattan Beach home painted bright pink with two large emoji images, said the house is being listed with an asking price of $1,749,000. Locals allege Kidd had the unusual paint job as retribution against neighbors who reported her illegally using the house as an Airbnb rental. Manhattan Beach prohibits local homes from being listed on the app. Kidd said she is planning to have another emoji painted on the house before selling it. Because why not?
Yeah.
$1.75 million for an emoji house.
That's crazy.
It's not worth it without the eggplant emoji.
That's true. That's true. You got to have a little eggplant emoji in order for your house to be worth that kind of money. I have no idea.
Such a bizarre thing. It's
Yeah.
a weird way to get back at your neighbors, but I guess I respect the tenacity.
Yeah, there are all kinds of ways to get back at your neighbors.
Right.
I tried a lot of them.
Really?
Oh yeah, I had a neighbor that we could not stand each other. There was a history between us because I bought the house that belonged to my grandmother,
Right.
and my grandmother and grandfather lived there. They bought the house when it was originally built in 1949. They lived there for a long time, and after Grandpa passed away, Grandma lived there by herself for 20-some years, and as soon as Grandpa passed away, this neighbor became a jerk. A jerk.
A jack chish.
Yeah. And he, and she had a sense of humor a lot like me, and she used to mess with him, because one of the things he always did is he'd park several feet over the back of their driveway when he parked on the street.
Oh, that's annoying.
And she said, Grandma didn't drive, but my aunt was living there with her, and she couldn't get out of the driveway half the time.
Right.
So Grandma had said something to him, so he went over and put a stake in the ground where his property line was.
Man. That's
And
bad.
it was like just more of a metal wire. So Grandma would run out there and stick hot dogs on it. Because she had a weird sense of humor like me.
That's awesome.
And then when
really cool.
when I bought the house from her, I moved in. Of course, he's trying to be friendly at first because he doesn't want to,
Right.
there's no longer a little old lady living next door to him.
Right.
And eventually he turns into a jerk. He had taught his dog to poop in my yard.
Oh, man.
Which I have a dog. I had a dog at the time. I still have a different one now, but dogs poop in yards. That's what they do. Well, they don't poop in my driveway. Well, I came home from work after working 12, 13-hour shift, and I jumped out and stepped right in a pile of dog poop. Oh, I was furious. So I took a shovel and I went around, and every dog turd I found in the yard, whether it was from his dog or mine, I put it on the end of a shovel and I slapped it on the side of his vinyl siding on his house. I spent an hour doing that. And he didn't come out of the house to see what I was doing. But he came out about 20 minutes later and was hosing it off, and I came out and talked to him for a little bit about what he can do with his dog and what's going to happen if he does it again.
Before I left my apartment to come here, I noticed that the neighbor dog had pooped on our back patio, and I had the thought, what if I put it in a paper bag and then lit it on fire?
There you
and
go.
then did that kind of classic prank, and it's their own dogs, just kind of as revenge. I don't know if that's an effective strategy, but I just noticed that before I left.
Yeah, that drove me nuts. But we had a weed war one year, which was hilarious because he always called the city if I didn't mow on his schedule. Well, I've been a busy man for a long time, and at the time I was working 60, 80 hours a week. I was working odd shifts, so I slept during the day, and were in a drought, so the grass wasn't growing, but the weeds were growing a little bit. And I get a letter from the city, you need to go out and mow. Well, I went out there and I'm mowing right along the property line, and there's a weed that's probably about 2 foot tall, right on the property line.
Right.
And as I'm mowing on my side, I see where he mowed and mowed around it. So I came down my side and mowed around it. That weed got 4.5 foot tall before he finally come out and hacked it down with a machete. And what killed me about that is I laughed every time I went past it. I know he was cussing every time he did. I wanted to go out and put a little fence around it and some mulch, start decorating it, you know. I never got around to it, but it's what I should have done. I used to. He did not like having me as a neighbor. I think he wanted to go back to the little old lady that didn't do anything but stick a hot dog.
Do you still
with
live
a
in
wire
this house?
I do.
Okay.
He's not there anymore. I have new neighbors that don't really mess with me. They're friendly enough. But no, he had to move into a home after he ended up missing for a while. They found him. He wandered off somewhere, you know.
Hey. I was going to ask if you got him to leave by drawing emojis on your house, you know, like.
I thought about it. If it hadn't been done already, I'd do it now just to see if I can get some of my other neighbors to leave.
Right.
I don't have a problem with them in particular. It's just neighbors in general.
Right. Well, so the story I was telling you about the patio, that's true. I'm trying to figure out because the dog poop is still on the patio.
All my
now.
Stories are true.
And no, I know. But sometimes mine are more bits and stuff. But but this is a true story, and I'm trying to figure out like how to handle it. Because I don't know if I should like take the high road on this one, or you know, since
on
it's
your
the first
porch.
Time. Yeah, on the back patio.
Yeah, that wouldn't make me mad. That would make me mad.
Yeah, it made me a little mad because it's like, you know, control your dog.
Right, exactly.
Mm-hmm.
And let him poop in your yard.
Right.
Anyway, we got one more somewhat related story to do, and then we're going to move on. Police in Indiana said a driver was ticketed when a dirty diaper tossed out of the window by a backseat passenger struck a trooper's car. Indiana State Police Sergeant Stephen Wheels, which if you're a state trooper, your name better be Wheels. That's fantastic. Said he was on Interstate 65 in Johnson County when a soiled diaper flew out of the back seat window of a car in front of him and bounced off his squad car. I was heading home after working the Indiana State Fair, so he had his fill of crap already. Tired and wasn't really expecting it because why would you expect a diaper to come flying out of the car in front of you and slap on the side of your cruiser?
That's a good point.
Wheels told the Indianapolis Star, "It hit my car and bounced a couple times. It's not something I could really let fly." Wheels said he ticketed the driver. His patrol car was not damaged,
but it was dirty.
Yeah, he needed change.
It's a form of damage. You know?
It is. It's soiled. It's a little soiled. But, yeah.
Well, their cop cars are brown over there,
so you never
probably
know. Yeah,
it just blended right in.
Exactly.
So.
That's. Yeah, well, I mean, if you're going to change a diaper in a car, you might as well aim for the nearest trooper.
Yeah.
I got nothing against Indiana troopers. I don't like, but you know, I got nothing against law enforcement, but
right.
I wouldn't be above throwing a diaper. just to make sure they're paying attention.
Well, you know, the diaper might actually would be very useful in Indiana because it might help fill in all those potholes they got.
That is true.
Everyone complains about Michigan roads. I said Indiana roads are worse, I think.
Oh yeah. Some of the roads we have around here aren't that great. Have you been out 35 out past Beaver Creek?
Not in a while.
Oh man, you head out there. That's a gravel road. You're going 70 miles an hour on. Is basically all that is. I won't drive in the right lane.
Right.
On 35 outside of Beaver Creek because you can't. You will rattle your teeth out of your head.
Right. So 675 even is a little bit rough.
There's some bad spots in there. Yeah, it's just fix this.
Right.
Yeah, make our roads great again.
Make our roads great again. Yeah, they raised their gas tax to pay for that.
Right, and then they don't
do nothing.
Yeah, exactly.
Or make it worse.
Do you have any shows coming up that you want to promote?
Yes, I do. This Friday,
let's
I am at Wiley's Comedy Nightclub.
You'll be there Friday. I'm there Saturday.
Yeah, I'll be there Friday night, 8 p.m. Tickets are $10 in advance, $15 at the door.
Yeah, get your tickets online.
Yeah,
Wiley'sComedy.com. That way you don't have to pay the extra $5, and we know you're coming, so we can staff appropriately.
Exactly. And if you come, I will tell you how to get free gas for a year.
There you go. Yeah, that's perfect.
Yeah,
Because that's something everybody needs right
exactly.
there. Rupert, you got anything coming up?
VFW thing on Saturday, I think, and then Paradise Key the week after that.
Oh, have you done Paradise Key before?
A couple times.
I've heard it's getting better there.
It is, yeah.
The first time, the only time I've done Paradise Key, I walked in, even the bartender didn't know comedy was happening.
Yeah, I was there the last one that they did a couple of weeks ago, and it was picking up a little bit. So
Cool. I'm glad to see that. I'm glad to see that
for sure.
because Damon works. He does he does a lot of work out there.
He hustles a lot. He's a good dude.
Yeah.
So yeah.
Is
cool.
it under different ownership now?
That's a good question.
Oh, that I don't know.
Because I did open mic there many, many years ago.
Oh,
so,
okay.
Yeah.
I do the karaoke night there from time to
Okay.
time. No, I like not hosting or anything. I just show up and just do
Just
karaoke.
sing.
But yeah, I'm not sure about the ownership. I don't know.
Cool. All right, we're going to have to go ahead and call it a night. Do remember that this Saturday I'm going to be at Wiley's on their showcase, so you can go to both shows. Go see Gary on Friday. Come see me on Saturday. Go see Kevin next Tuesday at the.
Yeah,
because I think he does them on Tuesdays. That's why
That's
I could
right.
only do the one because I had a pre-record that night. So
yeah, it's probably like September 3rd or something. I think was the day.
yep, that sounds right. All right, well, thanks for listening, Patrick. It's been fun. Get us the hell out of here. Thanks for listening to the Life Radio Show podcast. Check it out wherever you listen to podcasts. Remember, if you want to listen live, we are on Tuesdays from 7 to 9 p.m. on WWSU 106.9 FM. You can also stream the show live at WWSU1069.org, and we go Facebook Live at the Life Radio Show's Facebook page. If you have suggestions or comments, feel free to email thelife1069@gmail.com.
Presence overwhelms me. The brutal presence
El Jarabe Tapatio.